All they had to do was show a video game animation on CNN of SEAL Team 6 going in, shooting Bin Laden, boom, it's like a video game. And people swallow it up. People buy it. People swallow it right up and go on with their lives. And go on with their comfortable lives. This is the same way NASA is operating and has been all these years.
So, the animation to your left is the path of the lunar eclipse back in 1999, brought to you by NASA. The animation to your right is the path of the lunar eclipse back in 2015. Do you notice anything odd? Well, the trajectory on the left is northwest to southeast. The trajectory on the right is southwest to northeast. This is completely opposite in more ways than one, and it surely doesn't look like an orbit around the equator where the Earth is tilted at 23.5 degrees and where the lunar orbit has an inclination of about 5 degrees. These animations here look like two completely different orbits. Now surely NASA has an animation to explain what we're seeing, and that's the problem. Everything we get from NASA is an animation, as you can see in the credits here. Animation. Think about your favorite movie for a second where they show you the Earth from quote-unquote space, like Transformers or Interstellar or Gravity or whatever. Hollywood studios didn't send a camera crew to quote-unquote space. It's all CGI. It's all animation. Just like every quote-unquote composite picture we get of the Earth from NASA. There is no live feed from the moon showing the entirety of the Earth in real time. There is no distant satellite showing us actual photographs. Everything we get is animation, CGI, or composite Photoshop, just like in the movies. The first commandment says that you shall make no image of the heavens above. So I cannot show you any images, any of the evidence of the moon or Mars or even the sun. But if you do your own research, you'll come to the conclusion that we haven't the slightest clue of what's really going on up there. If you're looking for something freaky, then just start by looking up a video that's called The Lunar Wave by Crow777. They've repeatedly recorded a digital rendering wave on multiple occasions that runs up and across the surface of the moon like a fancy rear screen projected image. What does this mean? It means we think it's the year 2016. It means we think we're on Earth, but we only think that because that's what we've been told. We've been shown nothing more than special effects, and nobody dares to question what we've been told out of fear of being laughed at. There is no independent proof that says that anything up there is the way they say it is. Now, hearing this for the very first time is basically like hearing that 9/11 was an inside job for the very first time. You'll get those feelings of anger, denial. This is natural. And once you get over those feelings, you'll understand that this is not the year 2016. And the Earth does not look like a round marble. If it did, they would show you a real picture. Well, what does it look like? Well, maybe it looks like a pear or a peanut. Nobody knows. But with that moon and its smiling face and its figure-8 orbit, well, nothing is the way they say it is. And the moon, well, it's probably not really the moon. It's smiling at you for a reason. It's doing a figure-8 orbit for a reason. And it's not just doing that by chance. Nothing here that we see is there by chance. What is the moon really doing up there? Well, that's the question of the century. It could be a forward operating base, a transport ship, a total illusion of the Matrix. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Have you heard the one about the Mandela effect? Who out there remembers Staten Island with a bridge? Well, it has one now. It even has two. Forget the ferry, you can drive to the Statue of Liberty now. Was that always the case? Not in some people's reality. That's the Mandela effect. Never forget, we didn't show up on this rock by chance. We were put here. Our DNA proves we were created. Life doesn't come from nothing. Louis Pasteur proved that 200 years ago. Life can only come from life unless intelligence created life. The world is not as it seems. Public education and indoctrination has seen to it that you've been told only what you need to know. How to operate as a sheeple. Nothing more, nothing less. The truth is out there, Neo. It's looking for you. But if you find it, there's no looking back. Take the blue pill, you stay in Wonderland, and you see how deep the rabbit hole goes. Take the red pill, the pill of the dark side, and you'll wake up in your bed and believe whatever they want you to believe. If you're listening to this broadcast, you are in the Truman Show. Science has proven that it takes a leap of faith to believe in evolution. It is assumed that in the beginning nothing created matter. This violates the first law of thermodynamics, a principal scientific law which states matter and energy cannot be created or destroyed. After this, the matter somehow made itself expand, so it came from nothing and it makes itself expand in spite of the scientific law of inertia. Everything that has a beginning has a cause. So what has set these events in motion? The events of the Big Bang. Usually the answer is chance. Yes, chance, but chance cannot cause an event to happen. Chance refers to mathematical probabilities or odds. It cannot make anything actually occur. So it is believed that nothing created the universe. And sometime later, after nothing created the universe, evolution teaches that non-living chemicals created a living organism. This violates the scientific law of biogenesis, which states living organisms can only come from other living organisms. And despite this hurdle, it is believed this first organism also had DNA, an elegant and complex information storage system. This violates the first and second scientific laws of information. Don't people out there read books? Matter can't create non-material entities. Information is a non-material entity. Additionally, DNA needs an intricate molecular machine known as a ribosome to decode it. But the instructions to build ribosomes are on the DNA. So what came first, the DNA or the ribosome? It's way beyond the chicken and the egg. But regardless of all that, it is thought that natural selection made one-celled organisms more complex. Natural selection selects from existing information. Stranger than fiction news.